I'm Frank, and I'm an exterminator. I deal in 4 categories of pest control, those being roaches, flying insects, mole rats, and ghouls. I'd say the work itself pays pretty well. The only problem is the equipment is almost just as expensive as the job itself. So I'm currently kind of just living paycheck to paycheck. I'm situated in Boston Airport. Reason being is because I don't have to pay rent to live here. I can just kind of set up shop. Some might say that what I'm doing here is just being a squatter, and they'd be right, and I don't care because the view's great. Everything around is salvageable, and I've gotten quite a lot of things for free just living here. Brotherhood moved in not too long after I started hanging out around here, and originally when we first met each other, things got pretty heated. More akin to a standoff, though I had no weapons on me, and they were actually pretty intent on taking all my shit and leaving me for dead, which I wasn't excited about, but after I explained to them exactly what I do, it seemed they were on board with it, and just like that, I was indoctrinated into their ranks. Though I'm not actually a part of them, they do give me free handouts and a bit of extra work, as well as allowing me to stay here, so I guess I do have squatter's rights after all.
Man, you haven't lived until you've tipped a Brahmin with a vertibird. Now that's a challenge.
Each category I deal with has its own way of being handled. Roaches are the most prominent and easiest infestation to handle. All it really takes is a couple fire bombs accompanied by a decent swatter. I prefer a simple piece of plywood with a couple of spikes stabbed into it, but you could actually take care of this kind of problem with nothing more than a good pair of boots, or honestly, just a rolled up piece of newspaper does the trick. Moving on to category 2, we have got flying insectoids. That would entail stingwings, bloatflies, and blood bugs. Giant mosquitoes, if you will. Probably the most dangerous, though bloatflies are disgusting in their own right. Giant parasitic insects right there. But all 3 can be taken care of in the exact same way, and that's through the use of a very, very powerful sonic cannon. And what that does is it shakes up their insides, turns it to mush, makes a good smoothie out of them, and they're on the ground in 2 seconds flat. Problem solved. With category 3, we are upping the tactics to a higher magnitude, and that is because we are dealing with burrowing infestations. That includes mole rats and mirelurks, but mirelurks do cost extra as they are far more dangerous. Though I will admit that I've had a few shameful visits to the doctor over getting some mole rat disease a couple times over. For these kinds of infestations, cryotech is the preferred method, and that is due to the problem of them being quite fast on their feet, and if you don't have something to slow them down, they will cause serious injury and potential death. So, I don't know about you, but I'd like to be in control of when I get buried 6 feet deep. Fourth and final category is perhaps the most dangerous of them all, and that is mainly due to the moral dilemma that many associate with it. Not me. I don't find it problematic at all. But of course we're talking about the ghouls, not the competent sort, the ones they call zombies, which I don't refer to them as because I already am aware that they're nothing more than poor souls trapped in shit bodies. I consider what I do to be a blessing in disguise. If I was in the same position, I would expect no less from somebody else. Think of it like a civic duty. They can't think for themselves, so you're more or less putting them out of their misery. When it comes to dealing with ghouls, flame equipment's where it's at. They don't have a nervous system intact anymore, so it's not like they're feeling any of it. And that's about all there is to it. Usually gets the job done pretty well. Now beyond the moral dilemma, the main thing that makes ghouls so dangerous is their ability to play dead. Apparently they have a knack for playing pranks. They can be a bit jumpy. They can be a bit crawly, showing up out of the cracks and crevices of buildings. Really weird sort. So naturally I've taken up the ideology that when dealing with ghouls I should burn anyone, anything, and everything that moves. Now those are the 4 categories, but each and every job is different, and there's definitely going to be times where those different categories are going to overlap at some point. So you got to make sure you're prepared for anything and everything. Whoa, whoa, whoa there! Sit down. Alright, that's good. Oh shit, an ambush. Now, some of you might be asking why only those 4 categories, and I have a very simple explanation for you. That would be because of a strict rule that I have for both myself and my business. That rule: any job that requires me to deal with an infestation of something that is either as large as me or larger will be a no-go, and I will respectfully refuse. That's not because I'm a coward. That's not because I doubt my skills. That is strictly because I am 260 pounds currently, and on an average business day, I carry at least 300 pounds of equipment on me at all times. And if I'm looking all that around, I can guarantee you that I am not running anywhere anytime soon. So if I take a job like that, where I need to run, you can guarantee I'm gonna be dead. As I stated before, I normally don't take this sort of work, but this was a special case. A couple red scorpions moved out of the glowing sea and are getting comfortable on the outskirts of the Commonwealth premises, and that's getting quite a few residents pretty antsy. So I picked up the job mainly because the circumstances fit just right. I picked up a couple of extra nitrogen dispelling canisters, and the vantage points for this one are pretty good, so I can take this on not too badly. And just like with mole rats and mirelurks, the optimal method for dealing with rad scorpions is also cryotech. Gotta make sure they're slowed down, can't use their stinger on you. And again, I did take this job because it was an optimal situation for me. I normally don't deal with rad scorpions in any manner at all. But luckily for everyone around, this was only a small grouping, just about 2 or 3 red scorpions in total. And due to that factor, I was able to deal with the situation without incident. Now the worst thing you could do on this job is biting off more than you could chew. I've seen my fair share of businesses go dark simply because they took the wrong job and it costed them everything. I remember hearing about this one business. They called themselves the Death Stalkers. I guess I was supposed to be a joke or something. They made it their mission to exterminate everything in the glowing sea. But I don't think they took their name as a joke after they came face to face with a pack of death claws. Come to think of it, I haven't heard from them since then. I wonder how they're doing. It's currently 4 in the morning. I took a job kind of late last night. Wasn't expecting it, but it was a pretty good job for what it was. Well paying. Got it over the radio. And I kind of just called in and said, yeah, I'm gonna take that. But I might have been influenced quite heavily. I had been drinking, and I was almost all the way through my container, so I didn't want to like waste it all. So I downed it right then and there, hit the hay, and here I am, suffering a hangover. But I might have bitten off more than I can chew.